Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Tampa Bay Downs here on Saturday. It is March the 12th, 2016. We're going to look at today's stakes races. We have a few of them on the card. Before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for full card selections. The stakes races I'm going to be looking at are races 3, the third race, the 8th race, the 10th race, and race number 11. I don't know why they just couldn't put these races back to back to back, have an all stakes pick 4, which I love, but they just want to make it difficult for the gamblers. So let's get on to today's action. Today's third race, what is the 25th edition of the Challenger Stakes. Very nice race, or Challenger Handicap, whatever. Purse $100,000 for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 7 horses traveling the distance of a mile and a 16th. Later on in the year, what I noticed the last few years, you see horses in like the summertime coming out of this race who are really good horses and do well. So I've always liked this race. Probably going to get a grade in a few years. I could see getting grade 3 if they raise the purse up for some reason. But this race, I'm going to do a 10-cent super here. It will cost you a super key actually. I'm actually going to go with a bit of a long shot. A 10-1 shot I'm going to go with. That is number 2, Breaking Lucky, as my top selection. For my super key, going to key in on the 2, of course. I'm going to put the 137 underneath. For 10 cents I'll play. It's going to be 60 cents ticket total. But number 2, Breaking Lucky at 10-1, Elvis Trujillo. Last time out looking at Lucky, this Keeneland November 2012 sale purchase for $100,000. Last time out, ran out Woodbine on September the 20th, mile 8th in the Ontario Derby. Finished third by 5 lengths that day. Was closing up that day, but he wasn't catching the winner, who was a winner next time out also. Then ran in the Canadian Triple Crown, Woodbine a mile and a half on August the 16th in Breeders' Stakes for $500,000. Finished ninth by 35 and a half lengths. I don't think this horse liked the turf that day or the distance. I think it was a bit too long. It just dropped back. Then had Fort Erie, mile and 3/16 in the Princess of Wales Stakes. Won by a neck at 13-1, and he really liked that course that day, the dirt, first time. Second time on dirt that day, excuse me, and he really made a run of it, closing up well. Something I do notice, in my personal view, is I like picking closers on this race course here at Tampa. The biggest question with this one is, will he do well with the long layoff? He hasn't started it since September. That's 6 months. Math is horrible, so I can't do it off the top of my head. Something like that, 6 months. That was his last win. He's only won twice. That one started at 40 and one back in last April, about 11 months ago, and a 6.5 furlong made special weight, won by 1 3/4 lengths. This horse has 2 dirt starts. The one at Fort Erie and one last winter, March the 7th at Gulfstream, 1 mile in the main special weight, 40,000. Finished 4th by 20 3/4 lengths that day in the field of 9. He just had a horrible trip. Also, he just had a horrible trip, was wide, bumped, wasn't catching the winner. So gonna go with this one. He's been training decent at Palm Beach Downs, a 5 furlong workout, 1 minute and 1:01 and 4, which was the 10th best workout of 14, a 5 furlong workout in a minute flat, the best workout of 4 that afternoon or that morning. So gonna go with this one. So to recap my bets for the third race, a Challenger from Tampa Bay Downs. Gonna go with the 2 horses, my top selection. For my super key for 10 cents, which will cost you 60 cents. Gonna key in on the 2. Gonna put the 137 underneath. So now let's get on to race number 8. And the 8th race on today's program. What is... if the page would ever load, of course. The 8th race, what is the 33rd running of the Florida Oaks. Grade 3 purse, $200,000 for fillies, 3-year-olds. We have a field of 14 horses traveling the distance of a mile and a 16th on the turf. And my top selection here is the 10 horse, who is the 10 horse Gamble's Ghost at 6-1. Also going to do a super key for this race. Also, keying on the 10 horse. Going to put the 4, 6, 7 underneath for 10 cents. Should cost you 60 cents. If not, you're getting ripped off. or unless you're not playing it for 10 cents. If you play for $1, it should cost you $6. So yeah, but number 10, Gamble's Ghost. John Velasquez at 6-1 for Josie Carroll at a Ghost Zapper. Last time out, ran at Woodbine mile 16th on November the 1st in the Princess Elizabeth Stakes against state-bred horses, Ontario horses. Finished second by 3 lengths that day. She was a bit wide that day. Just couldn't really get that really late closing kick. Has run once on the turf. This is going to be her second start on turf. That one other start was in the Thomas Stakes at Woodbine, 1 mile in September the 12th. Grade 2 event that day. Finished second by 5 lengths. The winner of that day was Catch a Glimpse. So just keep that in mind. This horse was really rallying up that day. Again, this horse should really do well here. The biggest question with this one is the layoff. A lot of these horses have some of them have a bit of a layoff. This one, like I said, November hasn't started since November the 1st. If this horse is fresh enough, gets a great trip, could definitely win. John Velasquez knows what he's doing. Has a major jockey on today. Has been training at Palm Meadows. 4-4 workout, 48 flat, second best out of 42. And 5-4 workout Palm Meadows in 1 minute and 2/5 of a second. So yeah, so gonna go with this one. Looks if this horse gets a really good trip, watch out for this one. So recap my bets for the 8th race from Tampa Bay Downs to Florida Oaks. Gonna go with the 10 horse here. Gonna do super key the 10 with the 4, 6, 7 for 10 cents. Gonna cost you 60 cents. So now let's get on to race number 10. I've been saying the number 10 so much lately. The 10th race for I'm gonna say it again is the 18th running of the Hillsborough Stakes. Grade 2 purse $200,000 for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. We have a field of 10 horses traveling the distance of 1.125 miles on the turf course. And it's just a wonderful race. Always been one of my favorite races, the Hillsborough. The rail will be at 0 feet. And my top selection here will be the 10 horse. Number 10, who is ball dancing at 92. I'm going to pick away from Tempin. I think she... I just have bad luck when horses are winners of the last 3, and then I pick them. They always lose. So I'm just not going to pick Tempin today. I'll have her in my super key, which will include. So I'm going to do super key here. It's going to cost you $240 to play this one. Going to key in on the 10 horse. Underneath, going to put the 1679. That was the 1679 underneath. But number 10, ball dancing at 92. Javier Castellano for Chad Brown. Hasn't started in a while. Hasn't started since June 6th at Belmont Park, 1 mile in the Just Game Stakes, grade 1 event that day. Finished 8th by 7 lengths, got beat by Tempin. This horse was actually the favorite in that race. He was wide all throughout, just had nothing. They took this horse to the layoff afterwards. Then in the Jenny Wiley Stakes at Keelan, mile 16th on April the 11th, won by 2.5 lengths that day, and really ran her heart out. Really nice victory on that wet course. And then at Tampa in this race last year, Mount Leith on March the 7th in the Hillsborough Stakes, grade 3 event, finished second by 1.5 lengths, got beat by Stephanie's Kitten, who came back later in the year to run it in the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf and won against some of the world's best filly mare turfers. And this horse was rallying up that day. Really was stuck in the pace. Was not farther back. The farthest this horse was back was 3 lengths off. But she did run her heart out that day. And then the Queen Elizabeth Cup of 2014, this horse finished second by 3/4 length. And that day, it was a decent race. But last year's races, her 2 best races were probably Jenny Wiley was her best race last season, then the Hillsborough, and then you could just throw out the Just Game, which was probably her worst race for his career. Still gonna go with this one. If this horse is fresh enough, I think it could win. I really don't like picking horses off of that long of a layoff, but let's see if she does well here today. I'm gonna take my shot. Has been working at Palm Meadows, actually. 5 furlong workout on a firm turf course in 101 flat, which was the best workout of 23 workouts over the turf course there that day. And a 5 furlong workout at Palm Meadows and 5 furlongs in 1 minute and 1, which was the best workout of 21 that day. So gonna go with this one. Is ready. I hope so. So recap my bets for contradicting myself. So to recap my bets for race number 10, the Hillsborough Stakes from Tampa Bay Downs. Gonna go with the 10 horse here for my super key. Gonna key in on the 10. Gonna put the 1, 6, 7, 9 underneath for 10 cents. Gonna cost you 240. So now let's get on to the featured race of the meet, and the featured race of the day, of course. The 11th race, which is the 36th running of the Lamblau South Tampa Bay Derby. The Tampa Bay Derby here. We'll just call it that. Grade 2 purse, $350,000 for 3-year-olds. 3-year-olds. Field 10 horses, going for the purse of $350,000. And traveling a mile and 1/16th. And rode to the Kentucky Derby via Florida, Tampa Bay Downs. Who was the winner? Street Sense and Secret Circle won Derby. Secret, can't think of the other horse. The 2010 winner. It's at the top of my head. I just can't really think of it. Shit. Yeah. So, but it's a very nice race. You had two Derby winners coming out of this race in the last 9 years, so it's pretty good. I'm gonna go actually with the 7 horse this race, Destin, who won the Sam F. Davis a few weeks ago, about a month ago. Gonna key that horse on top for a super key. Underneath, gonna put the 248 for 10 cents. Gonna cost you 60 cents. But number 7, Destin 9-2, Javier Castellano for Todd Pletcher. Last time out, ran at Tampa Bay Downs, mile 16th on February 13th in the Sam F. Davis Stakes. Won by 2 1/4 lengths that day, and he just drew off clear. Very, very, very good victory. The farthest this horse was back was 3 lengths in that field of 6 horses, so they're a bit bunched up. But this horse really went on to a very nice victory. Then the Lake Mont at the fairgrounds, mile 70 yards on the 16th of January. Finished 4th by 5 lengths that day. Was just wide all throughout. Just really get that extra, you know. And then at the Gulfstream Park on December the 18th, an optional 75 claimer finished second by 1 1/4 lengths that day. And he was pressing the pace, but the pace was very slow. They were in the first quarter 25-1, 47-4 for the half, 112 for the 3 quarters, and 138 and 2 the final running time. So yeah, right? I hope you do. So yeah, gonna go with this one. Has been working out Palm Beach, 4 furlong workout, 48-4. The 7th best workout, 25, and a Palm Beach workout, 4 furlongs, 48-2. The 4th best out, 31. So gonna go with this one. I think this race is wide open too. You could go a few ways. A horse I really like that I didn't put on my ticket actually. I actually number 9, Taylor Seville, who I actually would have put a few bucks on to win in the Breeders' Cup Junior, but actually, unfortunately, got scratched that day. I've always been a fan of the Barkley Tag horses running in the Derby preps. So yeah, and like his juvenile horses to run in these big races or whatever. But I think this horse could be an upsetter. His bad race was on going 1 mile in the slop in the Champagne back in the fall. He tired that day, and then in the at Saratoga in the main special weight, he broke his main by 2 lengths. Can he go the distance of ground of mile 16? That's the big question. He's been training. He could be training a little better. Let's see if he does good today. What's going to be next? The Bluegrass would Moyle in a few weeks. I would put a few sneaky dollars to win on this horse, maybe like 2, because he's 12-1 morning line. I'd probably get up to 20-1, I would believe. So, as just a sneaky play, I don't have him on my ticket. Maybe I would put him on for at the end, yeah, for like the bottom 2 places. He could be. That's why I'll put $2 to win on him. But I'll put him at the back of my ticket also. I wouldn't put him for the second place. I would probably put him third and fourth because he's just a very weird horse the way he's been working out. Looking at the running line, yeah, whatever. So I'm gonna go with this one. So recap my bets for race number 11 from Tampa Bay Downs, Tampa Bay Derby. Gonna go with the 7 horse, who is Destin. I'm gonna do super key of the 7 with the 248. Like I said, I might put a few dollars on the long shot number 9, Taylor Seville. Also gonna maybe put him at the back of my ticket for my super. So it's not gonna be a super cube. Basically, it's gonna be very different super. So good luck to all, and follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.